Hello, Sarah from the Bureau with an update on the heavy rainfall that moved across southern parts of WA and the strong winds that are forecast to develop about southeastern parts of the country. So here it is, that cold front that brought the heavy rainfall to the southwest, widespread totals of 60 to 90 millimetres, the highest of which was 91 millimetres at Mount William, but 50 millimetres of that fell in just 2 hours, so really intense rainfall for residents there. Shifting the focus to eastern parts of the country though, we've got this strong high bringing really settled, calm and clear conditions. And it's actually in between this strong high and this cold front that we're getting a squeezing of the isobars, a tightening of the pressure gradient, indicating strengthening northwesterly winds ahead of that front. Now if we look at 1.5 kilometres above in the atmosphere, what the winds are doing there, that's where they're not influenced by the friction of the earth. We can see that the winds really start to strengthen in excess of 100 kilometres per hour during Wednesday into Thursday. Now winds at this level can also be dragged down to the surface by any showers or rain where they can be experienced as wind gusts. And because of that, we do have severe weather warnings for these damaging wind gusts for central and western ranges of Victoria and also the Otways and the northern suburbs of Melbourne as well. Now these are for the winds to develop during the early hours of Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning, up to 90 kilometres per hour. So winds of that strength are strong enough to bring down both trees and power lines. So that's associated with that cold front. It's mostly the winds that are of the major concern, but also there is some showers. Nowhere near as heavy as what we saw out in WA, generally 5 to 15 millimetres, reaching Adelaide overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Now on Thursday, those really strong winds are expected to extend into eastern parts of Victoria and southeastern parts of New South Wales, with more wind warnings likely to be issued. So if you live within those areas, stay up to date with our latest information. So here we go through Thursday, those showers starting to develop through the Melbourne area during mid-morning before contracting into eastern parts of the ranges and southeastern parts of New South Wales as well. Now there is the potential for more snow with this system. Great news for the resorts, 5 to 15 centimetres expected, and we do even have another follow-up front through here that's forecast to cross southeastern parts of the country over the weekend. There isn't as much moisture with that system, but there is the potential for another 5 centimetres of snow for the resorts. And just really interestingly, the humidity starts to build across the tropics with an unseasonal cloud band that starts to develop over the weekend as well. We're keeping an eye on. Temperature-wise, fun fact, it was far colder inland Queensland this morning than it was in Tasmania. In fact, records were broken for the July minimum temperatures this morning across several locations. And tomorrow it is going to be another cold one for inland parts of Queensland and New South Wales with widespread sub-zero temperatures, far milder in the southeast and out in the west as well. Maximums tomorrow are actually 2 to 4 degrees above the July average across eastern and central parts of the country, much colder out in the west, and that's in the wake of that cold front. And as we move into Thursday, it is actually going to be a fairly mild morning for southeastern parts due to those strong northerly winds, keeping the temperature up. And then on Thursday, again, temperatures generally near average across the far southeast, grading to slightly warmer up in the northern parts of eastern Australia. It's not until the weekend that we get those really cold temperatures coming with that second front. But if you're wanting to know more about what's going on in your neck of the woods, then you can head to the Bureau's website, the app or social media. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.